Hello everyone, this is Bandana from IT Year 0, Coursework 1 Reading Assignment. Antarctic penguins. Though penguins are assumed to be native to the South Pole, only 4 of the 17 species have evolved the survival adaptation necessary to live and breed in the Arctic year-round. The physical features of Adelie, chinstrap, Jinto, and emperor penguins equip them to withstand the harshest living conditions in the world. Besides these 4 species, there are a number of others, including the yellow-feathered macaroni penguin and the king penguin that visit the Antarctic regularly but migrate to the warmer waters to breed. The penguins that live in Antarctic year-round have a thermoregulation system and a survival sense that allows them to live comfortably both on the water and in the ice. In the dark years of winter, when the Arctic sees virtually no sunlight, the penguin that remains on the ice sheet sleeps most of the day. To retain the heat, penguins huddle in communities up to 6,000 of their own species. When it's time to create a nest, most penguins build up a pile of rocks on the top of the ice to place their eggs. The emperor penguins, however, doesn't bother with the nest at all. The female emperor lays just one egg and gives it to the male to protect while she goes off for weeks to feed. The male balances the egg on the top of his feet, covering it with a small fold of skin called a brood patch. In the huddle, the male penguins rotate regularly so that none of the penguins have to stay on the outside of the circle, exposed to the wind and the cold for a long period of time. When it's time to take a turn on the outer edge of the pack, the penguins tuck their feathers in and shiver. The movement provides enough warmth until they can head back into the core and rest in the warmth. In order to reduce the cold of the ice, penguins often put their weight on their heels and tails. Antarctic penguins also have complex nasal passages that prevents 80% of their heat from leaving the body. When the sun is out, the black dorsal plumage attacks its ray and penguins stay warm enough to waddle or slide about alone. Antarctic penguins spend about 75% of their lives in the water. A number of survival adaptations allow them to swim through water as cold as minus 2 degrees Celsius. In order to stay warm in these temperatures, penguins have to keep moving. The penguins don't fly in the air, they are often said to fly through water. Instead of stopping each time they come up for air, they use a technique called porpoising, in which they lap up for a quick breath while swiftly moving forward. Unlike most birds that have hollow bones for flight, penguins have evolved hard solid bones that keep them low in the water. Antarctic penguins also have unique feathers that work similarly to a waterproof diving chute. Tufts of the down trap a layer of air into the feathers, preventing the water from penetrating the penguin's skin. The pressure of a deep dive releases this air, and penguins have to rearrange the feathers, though through a process called preening. Penguins also have an amazing circulatory system, which in extremely cold water diverts blood from the flippers and legs to the heart. While the harsh climate of Antarctic doesn't threaten the survival of Antarctic penguins, overheating can be a concern, and therefore global warming is a threat to them. Temperature species have certain physical features such as fewer feathers and lesser blubber to keep them cool on a hot day. African penguins have a bald patches on their legs and a face where excess heat can be released. The blood vessels in the penguin's skin dilates when the body begins to overheat, and the heart rises to the surface of the body. Penguins that are built for cold winters of the Arctic have other survival techniques for warm days, such as moving to the shaded areas or holding their fins out away from their bodies. Thank you.